In the headlines, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar wins PDP presidential ticket, beats other contestants. Gunmen kill commissioner, abduct daughters in Nasarawa State. Suspected drug baron excretes 95 pellets of heroin. And flight with 22 people on board missing in Nepal. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar picks People's Democratic Party PDP presidential ticket in a keenly contested primary held in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Atiku beats 12 other contenders to emerge winner of the contest, where he polled 371 votes against that of Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who scored 237 votes. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
767 elected delegates from the 774 local government councils across the country were accredited to vote in the presidential ticket contest, with 13 candidates vying for the seat. 2 earlier withdrawn from the race, with the other, Aminu Tambol, stepping down for Atiku Abubakar minutes before the commencement of voting.
I have come to a patriotic conclusion to step down my aspiration. And not only that, but I appeal to my supporters to take this in good stride and in the hands of national unity, patriotism, and not only that, those who are delegates here should vote for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Wazir Adamawa.
A distribution of the votes after sorting and counting shows that Atiku Abubakar got the highest votes cast with 371, while Governor Nyesom Wike closely follows with 237 votes. Former Senate President Bukola Saraki managed to garner 70 votes, ahead of Governor Udom Emmanuel with 38 votes. Others are Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad with 20 votes, and former Senate President Anyim Payazanyim with 14 votes ahead of 2 other contestants with 1 vote each.
By the power vested on me as the Chief Returning Officer of the 2022 Presidential Electoral Committee, I, Senator David Adechenu Bonaventure Mark, GCON, hereby return Atiku Abubakar, having scored the highest number of valid votes during the presidential primary election held on Saturday, May the 28th, 2022 at the Velodrome Complex, Abuja, FCT, as the winner of the election. He is hereby returned elected.
Speaking shortly after emerging as the PDP presidential flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar described the exercise as one of the freest in the history of party primaries, promising to carry the losers along.
Today marks another milestone in the process to consolidate our democratic gains. And I therefore pledge that I will work to ensure I restore unity and I give a sense of belonging to all Nigerians, irrespective of their places of origin and irrespective of the faith they practice. I also committed that I was going to deal decisively with our security challenges in this country.
He pleaded with the aggrieved party members to return in the interest of the party. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Although you go, still talking politics, two political gladiators in Gombe State, Governor Inuwa Yahaya and Senator Danjuma Goje, have settled their political dispute which created division among members of the All Progressive Congress APC in the state. Senator Goje, who won APC ticket for the Gombe Central Senatorial District, said reconciliation has come to stay. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
This is a historic moment for Governor Inuwa and his former boss, ex-Governor Danjuma Goje, as they come together after a dispute that lasted for almost a year. The political tension triggered resignation of Goje's daughter, who was appointed by Governor Yahaya as Environment Commissioner, but Senator Goje said they have now reconciled.
I also wish to particularly thank the leadership of our great party, the national leadership of our great party, the APC, under His Excellency, distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu Turakin.
Governor Yahaya said he is very excited to reconnect with his former boss.
Ranar farin ciki, wannan tana ɗaya daga cikin ranakun da na fi farin ciki tunda Allah ɗora ne akan karagar mulki a jihar.
This is the most exciting day for me as the governor. In the past 3 days, no one think we will be together. Hypocrites have been fueling the crisis, but we thank Allah for making it possible to reconcile. For this reconciliation between Governor Yahaya and Senator Goje, there were insinuations that Goje may defect to the People's Democratic Party PDP, a report that he repeatedly denied. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Elsewhere, Abdul Karim Zauri, popularly known as Zauri, has emerged APC candidate for Kano Central Senatorial Zone. Zauri polled 758 votes to defeat Senator Bashir Lado, who polled 77 votes. Announcing the result, the chairman of the election committee, Tijani Yahaya, said the process was free and fair. Senator Bashir Lado reportedly left the venue with his delegates before announcement of result. Meanwhile, a personal assistant to President Buhari on media, Bashir Ahmed, is accusing Governor Abdullahi Ganduje for working against his bid to secure ticket at the just concluded primary elections, during which he contested for the candidacy of House of Representatives on the Albasugaya Ajingi federal constituency. Bashir argued that there was no election in his constituency as thugs were allegedly used to disrupt the primary. Now, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State has won the Enugu North Senatorial District primary election of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) ahead of the 2023 general elections. Ugwuanyi was declared winner of the election amid jubilation by the chairman of the 5-man electoral panel from the National Working Committee of the PDP, Prince Vin Yandef Amabai. Ugwuanyi scored 299 valid votes cast to defeat 3 other aspirants in the ballot paper, namely Okanya Celestine, Chief Eze Godwin Ikechukwu, and Professor Godsmark Edward Ugu. Amabai disclosed that the party primary was conducted in accordance with the Electoral Act and the guidelines of the PDP. Elsewhere, gunmen have killed a former commissioner of the National Population Commission, Zakari Amaru Kigbu, in Nasarawa State and abducted 2 of his daughters. Daily Trust learned that the incident occurred in the early hours of Sunday at Umar Kigbu's residence in Azuba Bashai, Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State. Confirming the incident, the Nasarawa Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Ramhan Nansel, said the command got a distress call at 12:20 a.m. on Sunday. According to him, investigation is ongoing to ascertain the circumstances surrounding the incident. Nansel also confirmed that 2 of the deceased daughters were kidnapped. Until his murder, Umar Kigbu was a lecturer at the Department of Mass Communication, LSA Mustafa Agwai Polytechnic, Lafia. He was the former MPC Federal Commissioner covering Nasarawa State. Now, bandits on Friday night laid siege on Jere town in Kagarko local government area of Kaduna State for almost 3 hours, killing a newlywed groom and abducting his pregnant wife. The bandits also abducted 4 members of the family of a former commissioner of poverty alleviation in Kaduna State, Abdurrahman Ibrahim Jere. Daily Trust reports that over 50 bandits arrived Jere, a community along Abuja-Kaduna Highway, on motorcycles. They were said to have moved from house to house but targeted the home of a former commissioner, Abdurrahman Ibrahim Jere, who was out at the time. They, however, abducted his wife and a baby girl, his younger sister and his wife's sister. As at the time of filing this report, Kaduna State Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Muhammad Jalige, said he was not aware of the attack but asked for time to find out and revert back. Tension has risen in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja on Sunday as motorcycle riders, otherwise called Okada, have stormed a popular estate in the metropolis. Findings reveal that the mayhem started when a hit-and-run driver rammed into some Okada riders in Kabusa area of the city, killing 3 of them in the process. The driver, according to an eyewitness, ran into Global Estate located after Sunnyvale in Kabusa around Lokogoma, Abuja. The angry Okada riders were said to have chased the driver to the estate, setting the gatehouse on fire. As at the time of filing this report, security operatives were said to have been drafted to the estates to prevent further destruction. More details of this story in our subsequent bulletin. The Rivers State Police Command has confirmed that 31 people have reportedly died during a stampede at the Port Harcourt Polo Club while rushing to get giveaways from King's Assembly International Church's free shopping program. The program is aimed at helping the less privileged in the society. The report.
The command, in a press statement through the public relations officer, said investigations conducted by the command have, however, revealed that the unfortunate incident occurred when management of King's Church Assembly organized a crusade that attracted a mammoth crowd. It further revealed that there were plans by the church management to give away food and gift items to the less privileged. Eyewitnesses said thousands of people gathered at the venue as early as 2 a.m. and were trying to force their way into the premises, resulting in a stampede and deaths.
People that were at the back were the ones that even causes this stampede. They now say, okay, the gate has opened, let me just run inside, So at that process of running inside the gate, that was when they started pressing on people.
I said, came here to find to my small daughter. When I come here, I saw some people with time. They took me to hospital. They are looking for my rabbi daughter. I went there, I don't start everywhere, I don't see the gate.
One of the King's Assembly invites us to come. Because last year we came. When we are many here, so I cannot able to carry three of them. So I raised one up, actually here. And this one here, but this one, the plate is very tiny. And I lose this one. The other one, they was pushing her because that one is 11 years old. They was pushing her. So I don't know where she is. I mentioned her name, Divine, I can't see.
Nothing that happened, I just look at it as a kind of a hunger that's in the country. And even the COVID-19, I achieved some bags of food from his church.
The Commissioner of Police, CP Aboka Friday, while condemning the incident, directed the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the State Criminal Investigations Department to carry out discreet investigation into the incident. He further called on religious and charity organizations to ensure they work with the police for security and crowd control management during their programs in the future to forestall such incidents.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up, how family planning breaks home. Details of this story and more after the break. Do stay. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Our top stories. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerges PDP presidential flag bearer, vows to restore opposition to power. Gunmen on Sunday killed a commissioner and abducted his daughters in Nasarawa State. Still ahead, wanted drug kingpin behind a 2,000-kilogram cannabis sativa seized in a concrete mixer truck in Adamawa State in 2021. Henry Chukwenuku Okamaru has been arrested in Ondo State after 5 months of manhunt by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. 2 suspects, Matthew Donume and Friday Mbogu, were arrested in connection to the consignment last December. They had confessed that the concrete mixer truck with Lagos registration number SMK89XB was loaded with the illicit drugs in Ogbese, Ondo State, while they traveled for 2 months on the road before arriving at Adamawa State, where they were eventually arrested by the NDLEA operatives. The report.
Investigations reveal that Okamaru is one of the leaders of a cannabis cultivation cartel that operates in the Ondo-Ekiti axis, while he shuttles between Osun, Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, and Delta State, from where he coordinates supplies of illicit consignments to northern parts of the country and Lagos State. Meanwhile, a 36-year-old Nigerian based in Italy, Nwakamma Michael Uche, has been arrested at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for ingesting pellets of heroin. Nwakamma was nabbed while trying to board Air France airline en route Abuja-Paris-Milan, Italy. He was thereafter kept under observation, during which he excreted 95 pellets of the illicit drug. Across 5 states of Edo, Kaduna, Kogi, Akwa Ibom, and Oyo, NDLEA operatives intensified their offensive action against drug cartels. In Edo, Thaddeus Uliabafusi, aged 58, was arrested, while a total of 130,670 tablets of different controlled drugs, 1,396 ampoules of pentazocine injection, and 743 bottles of codeine were recovered from a secret location where the drugs are repackaged. In Akwa Ibom, a female drug dealer, Irene Emmanuel Bassi, was arrested during a search of her house at Ikpa Town, Eket local government area, where 30.5 kilograms of cannabis was recovered, while one Muhyiddin Rasaki was nabbed with 90.8 kilograms of cannabis at Elere Bolowaji area of Ibadan Southeast local government area. While commending the officers and men of the agency for the series of arrests and seizures in the past week, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, in a release by the Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, charged them and their compatriots across the country not to relent in their offensive action against drug cartels and their kingpins.
Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption has lambasted some highly placed Nigerians for procuring court orders stopping the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and other law enforcement agencies from arresting and putting them to trial. Chairman of the committee, Professor Iyesagi, made his fleeing known while reacting to the rate at which Nigerians accused of economic and financial crimes refused to honor invitations by EFCC and other constituted authorities to surrender themselves for interrogation for crimes they are suspected of having committed. Professor Sagi, who said it was illegal to restrain anti-corruption and law enforcement agencies from arresting such suspects, regardless of their statuses in society, noted that such restraining orders amount to hindering agencies of government from carrying out their responsibilities, especially when such orders do not come from those covered by immunity conferred by Section 308 of the Constitution. He maintained that courts have, through several rulings, stated at the highest levels that no court in Nigeria has the power to restrain the police and other state agencies like the EFCC and the ICPC from carrying out their duties, noting that such actions constitute a charter for criminals to engage in nationwide impunity. Couples in northern Nigeria often have disagreement over family planning or child spacing due to religious or cultural factors. Trust TV brings to the fore the story of a 29-year-old housewife who boycotted her matrimonial home after her husband suggested family planning for the family. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Shamsia Yunusa is 29, married to Aminu Salisu. They had 8 children, but 3 died. Aminu wants his wife to adopt family planning for the sake of her health and that of the children, but she declined. Shamsia used to give birth every year, and her husband is worried.
I advised her. She even said that she didn't agree. I even go to her parents. She didn't accept it. I follow our traditional leaders how to advise her. She didn't accept it. That is where I started getting the problem with her. She even go back her whole house. She said that I didn't want her to born children, and I want maybe I will go and add another woman to get another children, but her I will leave her at home without getting children. That is how it starts. I try my possible best to tell her, because I convinced her a woman without education is just like a house without foundation. I say that if she allow herself sitting down at home, and when another woman come to the house that she's educated, she's going to take over the house. And women didn't want to see second wife at home. That is why she's convinced, and she said that she agreed.
After boycotting her husband's home to protest against family planning, Shamsia had finally accepted after a series of pleas by her husband.
So it's because I want to have more spacing for the child, for the birth. Yes, it helped me to take care of my children, and it helped me and my husband through our financial sources. So now we don't have, as I am doing planning, I don't have money problem.
The mother of 5 says after adopting family planning and subscribing to a 5-year child spacing procedure, she has witnessed improvement in her health and that of her last child, who now enjoys adequate attention. Shamsia and her husband are now advocates of family planning in Gombe. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Now, participants of a 3-day training for journalists on investigative reporting have assured of their commitment to utilize the knowledge acquired for better reportage. The training, organized by the Daily Trust Foundation in collaboration with the MacArthur Foundation, is to equip broadcast journalists on professional reporting and the need to imbibe the virtues of credibility and integrity. The report.
The training took place at the headquarters of the Media Trust Abuja, with participants drawn from various media organizations. Theophilus Abbas is the director, Daily Trust Foundation. He said The training is aimed at building the capacity of the Nigerian journalists to carry out more compelling broadcast investigative stories.
We want Nigerian journalists to learn how to use the various approaches to that kind of investigation to expose wrongdoing. But we know that if a wrongdoing is broadcast on television, it will make a lot of impact. It will cause government to even take action.
The training is also to help build the confidence level of the journalists to communicate, take control of interviews, investigate and report issues of public and national interest.
This platform is, giving us that opportunity to be able to do better, to know better how best to approach issues, sensitive issues that requires investigation.
The foundation is expecting the trained journalists to hold powerful people, politicians, criminals, corporations and governments accountable for their actions and inactions.
I'll begin by thanking Daily Trust Foundation and MacArthur Foundation for putting resources together and bringing in the best out of the rest in terms of investigative journalism.
It's not just a refresher course. I have learned new things, especially in the area of using spy cameras and also creativity in documentary production.
Access to information has always been a big challenge for journalists in Nigeria, but with the skill acquired during this training, journalists will ensure that nobody is above the law. Nana Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on the foreign scene, a small plane with 22 people on board flying on a popular tourist route is missing in Nepal's mountains on Sunday. Police official Ramesh Thapa on Sunday said the Twin Otter aircraft, which was on a 15-minute scheduled flight to the mountain town of Jomsun, took off from Pokhara, 200 kilometers east of Kathmandu. It lost contact with the airport tower shortly after takeoff and said a search was underway. Spokesperson at the Home Affairs Ministry, Phanindra Mani Pokharel, said 2 helicopters have been deployed for a search operation, but added that visibility was low. 6 foreigners were on board the plane, including 4 Indians and 2 Germans. And in sports, Gervonta Davis has retained his WBA lightweight title with a 6-round stoppage of fellow American Ronaldo Romero in New York. Davis' counter left hook sent Romero face first into the ropes before referee David Field stopped the fight at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. American Ryan Garcia, who was ringside, challenged Davis to a December bout. And that's it on news updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.